Yeah, Westbrook comes the other way.
All just felt like there was contact.
Westbrook throws it down, saw the opening, and took advantage. It's back up to 11. It's moved to the basket. It's back to 6.
I'm sure we can get that answer.
Alley-oop, and there's his first bucket on a nice pass from the NBA's leading assist man, Russell Westbrook. And George grabs it. Westbrook drives and finishes, and the foul, soaring through the air, and a chance for a three-point play. San Antonio comes back with an 11-0 run. Westbrook gets inside and lays it up and in. Westbrook whips the pass. Grant, that's good. Three-pointer for Grant. Now Westbrook has his triple-double. Timeout, San Antonio. Scoring game for the Thunder bench all season as Westbrook drives and backs it home.
Woody, son. This is your boy, Sean the Slim God. Appreciate y'all for coming back and tuning in to the Courtside Seat Show. Let's go ahead and get started with the weekly rounds of news. So first and foremost, I want to talk about injuries. Surprise, surprise. Kawhi Leonard could be back as early as Thursday. The last time he was actually on the court was January 13th, and he's literally only played 9 games this season. So the last time Popovich said something, he was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi don't play for the rest of the season, but we could definitely see him before the end of the year. And the Spurs definitely need him because there's actually a chance that they might not make the playoffs. They can literally slip out of the playoffs, especially how they've been playing lately. So Kawhi Leonard is actually a necessity when it comes to the Spurs going to the playoffs and actually making any type of run in the playoffs, getting 1 win at the least. And Jaylen Brown is going to miss at least a week going through concussion protocol right now. Earlier this week, he went for a slam and kind of fell on his back/head, and it was just an ugly, scary moment for him, man. So Jaylen Brown is that deal. So I really can't wait to see him back on the court. My heart goes out to him, man, and I really hope he gets well soon. And then on the signings, some surprise signings. Derrick Rose got signed to Minnesota. You know, not a 10-day, but he actually legitimately got signed. I haven't seen him actually play yet, so I'm not going to give him any kudos or whatnot. But, you know, him playing with his old coach, Thibodeau, that should help. But we know how Thibodeau likes to push his superstars and work their ass to death. So we'll definitely see how that goes. Hopefully that should help bring some more consistent scoring with the Timberwolves. And then Derrick Williams actually signed a 10-day contract with the Lakers. Not quite sure. I guess they seem to be missing a little bit of Larry Nance right now, and Julius Randle isn't putting up enough for them. So, you know, Derrick Williams with a little bit of veteran critique and a little bit of veteran experience coming off the bench should help the Lakers, you know, find a little bit of structure going into the offseason because they ain't making the playoffs, of course. And Brandon Jennings signed a 10-day contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. That was kind of a surprise because this is actually Brandon Jennings' second go-round with the Bucks. You know, we'll definitely see if they'll extend it through the playoffs or whatnot. Right now, the Bucks are in 8th place, you know, which is kind of expected. You know, they got rid of their coach and, you know, they're trying to find some type of structure that they had prior to their coach leaving or whatnot. So can't wait to see what Brandon Jennings has to offer. Hopefully he'll bring something off the bench, you know, maybe about 10, 15, 12 points. Now I want to go briefly into these winning streaks. So the Pelicans actually was on a 10-game winning streak until Anthony Davis kind of twisted his ankle. They ended up losing to the Wizards, but I really commend the Pelicans because after the injury to DeMarcus Cousins, they really been stepping their game up, looking really good. I'm pretty much proud of the West, man. The West is fighters, man. They've always been fighters, but this year, man, it's probably just as good as every other year, but it's still a surprise to see teams like Utah and to see teams like Denver actually push and treat this like a very serious thing, you know. And the Rockets actually got their winning streak snapped by the #1 team on the East, the Toronto Raptors, who's on a 7-game winning streak right now. Did it catch a couple people by surprise? Yeah, I would say so because I definitely didn't expect the Houston Rockets to lose anytime soon again. But, you know, Toronto is actually one of the most slept on teams in the league. You know, they've been solid for the past 4 years, I would say. You know, continuing to progress. So I really commend Toronto Raptors. Just recently, DeMar DeRozan was talking about him being depressed and depression he was going through which allowed Kevin Love to speak out about his panic attacks or whatnot. So, you know, it's actually a lot of good things coming out of Toronto right now, and not just basketball. So I gotta definitely commend Toronto for just being on top of their game, man, and just being as transparent as possible so they can be confident enough to make it to the finals. Speaking of playoffs, the first two teams to clinch a playoff spot this year is the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors. The East, of course, has been doing their thing. You know, I'm definitely proud of the Celtics. You know, they've been consistent with these young players. And then, of course, like I said, with Toronto, man, kudos to Toronto. So, you know, that's what's going on in the playoffs right now. We literally got like less than 20 games left in the season. So it's about to get down to the nitty gritty. And then something kind of off subject, but not really. It's been rumored that LeBron James plan on leaving. And sources say that the 4 places that LeBron plans on going to if he chooses to leave is going to be, of course, Cleveland, Philly, the Lakers, and Houston. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. The reason why I kind of brought it up is because, man, first off, the season ain't even over yet, you know. Second of all, he just got a new team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so much going on right now. Like, why would he even consider anything? But let's go hypothetical. Hypothetically, considering Cleveland dismantled their team and got a lot of new young players, you know, depending on if we get beat or make it to the finals, I might stay. But if I don't stay in Cleveland, personally, if I'm LeBron, I would definitely go to Philly. You know, and then they just going to have to figure out what they're going to do with Ben Simmons, man. As great as Ben Simmons is, he's not better than LeBron. And, of course, putting Ben Simmons and LeBron on the same team would kind of just defeat the purpose, you know, because LeBron has to have the ball and Ben Simmons can't shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's not going to be able to practice and perfect his threes in one off season. So, you know, for me personally, I would still want him in Philly. They would still make it to the conference finals. You know, he might even make it to the finals. But other than that, again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Courtside Seat Show. Make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram at Courtside Seat Show and on Twitter at Sean the Slim God. Sean the THA Slim God. Other than that, I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.